Well, if it's cold, you might adapt by putting something on, like a jacket. If it's hot, you might, take off a layer, or go in the shade, or take a drink, or something like that. On a cellular level, if your body recognizes that there is high blood sugar, your body is going to send out a signal to release a hormone to lower the blood sugar. So that's how your body responds or adapts to that environment. So responsiveness and adaptability. Another characteristic is to grow and reproduce. So to grow, we usually think of this as getting bigger, getting taller, getting wider, something like that. And then development, growth and, actually I think your new one does growth and development. Development is the characteristics that change over time. So for example, you do not look the same as you did when you were little. You have developed, you have matured over time. So there were a lot of physiological and structural changes that occurred over that time. So that's development. Reproduce or reproduction. On an organism level, it is not vital for your individual survival that you reproduce. Now, for the whole species to survive, yes, it would be important that certain individuals of the species reproduce. But on a cellular basis, it is important for a cell to be able to reproduce. Let's say you cut yourself and you need to be able to repair your skin or your tissues or something like that. Those cells need to be able to divide and reproduce to be able to repair that tissue. So that's another characteristic that kind of defines something as living. All right, and another one is movement. And that could be just moving your arm. It could be moving from one place to another. Those things also define life. Now on a cellular basis, or not even on necessarily our cells, but maybe on a single-celled organism level, they might move by that amoeboid movement. So they, even one-celled organisms are able to move even though they don't have arms and legs and things like that to be able to move. All right, so those are also characteristics of life that are pretty much standard no matter what complexity of organism that you're looking at. The next group is more dependent on the complexity. So the more complex organism you have, some more complex structures and characteristics of life that we have. And these include things like respiration, so the ability to use oxygen and release carbon dioxide in respiration. Circulation, how that organism transports nutrients and carbon dioxide and waste products throughout the organism. Digestion, that would be another one. How the chemical breakdown of material. So how was it ingested, how was it broken down, and how was it used? So that digestion, and again, that will vary and it will be different depending on the complexity of the organism that you're talking about. And the last characteristic of life is excretion. So once you've ingested and digested the food or the nutrients, the material, how do you get rid of the waste products that you don't use? That's excretion. So in the human body, we have feces, we have urine, we actually excrete some waste products through the sweat, and also carbon dioxide is a waste product, and so we get rid of that through the lungs as well, through breathing. So there's lots of different ways of excretion. All right, so those are all characteristics of life. Now let's compare the terms anatomy and physiology. So this course is called Anatomy and Physiology. So why some places will actually have a separate course. You will have an anatomy course and you will have a physiology course. Here